Your microcycle doesn't need to be based off a 7-day period. Time and time again, we fall into this trapping of we got to get Monday through Friday and figure out how do we organize our training. And it falls into maybe a 3-day total body, a push-pull, a upper-lower. When we start to break down this 7-day period, there's so many examples, whether you're in season or just in a pretty open training schedule format, that you don't need to lock into a 7-day cycle in order to organize your training. The completion of a microcycle is accomplished when I repeat that first workout in that microcycle. So a normal 7-day week, I'm going to start to repeat a new microcycle every Monday. And that calendar week works out until it doesn't. In this example, you could see that I'm doing a torso. So I'm working upper body pushing and pulling. So chest and back, lower body pushing and pulling. So quads and hamstrings, off arm-based antagonist pairings, bis and tris, and then off again. So that now 7th day, I am repeating that first workout within that microcycle. As you can see in this calendar, the shape of this macro plan just looks drastically different. And I want you to pause and think about, how am I structuring my microcycle? Is it locked into a calendar week? Is that congruent with what I'm doing with my athletes? I'm in season, or I have an athlete with a completely open schedule. Do I have to lock into a 7-day work week? Or do I want to accommodate a couple key attributes, giving an adequate amount of rest, and then getting through this mesocycle as quickly as possible, and then on to another quality, or maybe developing another aspect? Periodization breaks up into a couple different formats. There's linear and nonlinear. Linear is simply going from high volume to high intensity, and then nonlinear is just more of this undulating type of structure. And there's a couple different derivatives of nonlinear. There's concurrent, focusing on a singular quality, or there's conjugate, focusing on mix. So I'm blending all sorts of qualities together in a given training session. This example is a concurrent. In my personal stance is I think the body prefers consistency, that we want to saturate a certain quality and squeezing out as much development of that particular quality. That runs into some issues, specifically in season, or maybe we're just in a high training monotony. So if I'm trying to organize my training to get the most value from this, but not getting pattern redundancy or just getting monotony for my training, I can now restructure my microcycle, still keep with a block. I'm just going to focus on a particular quadrant of my body, so torso, lower arm, to get the most training value and shortening up that microcycle so I can go through these microcycles faster. I'm going to be breaking down microcycles in a series of videos here in the next coming days. I want you to stop here, head over to phpodcast.com. Go through our blogs, go through our podcast. If you like what you're seeing there, get in our coaching membership. $25 a month, you get access to an ever-growing library. It's over 50 hours of content broken up into program reviews, web shows where I do a deep dive with other strength conditioning coaches, as well as all of the lectures that I've ever done recorded and there for you to be able to dive into. phpodcast.com, providing solutions to strength conditioning coaches all around the world.